Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. It's the Ed August Astrology and Tarot Show. What a beautiful day in Chandler, Arizona, which is part of the Phoenix metro area. And it's beautiful blue skies today. We have skies blue. Again, I know that people are blown away by the bad weather in other parts of the country. Today, the sun is in 27 degrees of Capricorn. It's going to finish up Capricorn in the next 2 or 3 days. And the moon is in Libra, and it's coming up on, let me see, that's going to be 2 days. In 2 days, the moon will be going into a conjunction with Jupiter in Libra. And when it gets to 20 or 22 degrees. Needless to say, these next couple of days are going to be really good for any Librans out there. And the air signs in general, like I'm a Gemini, for example, and the other air sign is Aquarius. Doesn't mean that anything bad's going to happen to Aries or Cancers or Scorpios, but, it just might be an average day for you, nothing really special. And Venus is in 14 degrees of Pisces, and Mars is in 22 of Pisces. So Venus is sneaking up on Mars because it's going almost the same speed that the sun is as we see it from Earth. And so it's going to be about a week before Venus and Mars cross each other. I tell you, this pattern is pretty good. I don't think we have too much to worry about. There is a square going on between Mars and Saturn can sometimes show battles and anger and stuff, but I think that's going to be more in the bigger picture. It's not going to be a personal matter. It's going to be more something happening in the world. Maybe somebody needs to get into political astrology and find out what that's all about. The very first thing that I want to do is actually some tarot cards for a lady who wrote in. She actually left a comment on my website, which is what I'm asking people to do if you want me to get you on the phone here. And because I cannot trust the caller numbers right now because I've been stalked by a terrible troll who disrupted our show about 3 times. And so anyway, what I'm asking people to do is to please go to edaugust.com. Otherwise, what I will do is I will do tarot card readings for you just using the area code and letting you know. And I don't mind doing that, just a little 3-card reading. But first, let's look at this lady who wanted me to look at her career. And she said that she's been looking for a job for a long time. It's just not happening for her. And let's see, we're cutting them near the bottom as per her request. And let's see. Travel changes. You cannot stay still, my dear, and get the job that you want. You need to make necessary changes, and you need to look a little bit farther afield. There's something in the immediate area which is preventing this from happening. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's that you're tied down by family needs or connections or something, and so it's hard for you to get to where you need to be. That's what I get from the 8 of Wands. The wands are flying. They're moving. It shows big movement, and that will do something very good for you. The 4 of Cups is the second card. You need to focus on exactly what you want to do. I know you say that you've been looking for a job for a long time, but, the job will manifest itself. This guy is sitting beside a tree, and a cup is coming to him from out of a cloud. And so that shows that you will be offered something. Will it be better than what you have now? I think so, because you want a job. So when you get an offer, when you find the job, you should take it. The King of Wands is a businessman. It's definitely a male. It's definitely someone who is a CEO or owns his own business or something. And it could be something in financial. It could be something in sales. It could be something in marketing. It's probably not something like in the social services or caretaking professions, I don't think. But that person is going to give you a job. And, whoa, there we go. And the card after that is the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is success, happiness, home life improves and everything, but you may have to go beyond your usual boundaries in order to make this happen. Do you see what I mean? You have to go farther than where you're used to go in order to get this job. So we have someone on hold that I was doing some astrology with, and this is kind of a continuation of an astrology reading, and I wanted to bring this in because so far I've been mostly doing tarot on here because I don't have time for anything else. Let me bring her into the picture. Hello, caller.
Hi,
Hello.
Ed. Good
Hi.
afternoon.
Can I use your first name?
Sure. Caroline.
Caroline. That's great. And Caroline, I'm fascinated to talk more about your chart. The first thing that I saw that attracted me was that you have Venus, you have Moon in a close conjunction with the 7th house cusp. And the 7th house cusp has to do with partnerships and marriage. And the Moon is a little tricky. It's very sensitive. It changes all these cycles. It goes through so many cycles that there's some instability there, but there's heart. It's got so much heart to have that Moon in the 7th house. So I see almost like that you need relationships where you're caring for someone. You need desperately relationships where people are caring for you on the most, friendship and intimate basis and everything. And and you were born with the Moon in opposition to Pluto, which is something that I just saw overnight. And I'm feeling that you're not getting, during your life, you just have not been getting enough pure love and joy in your life to sustain a really long-term relationship. How do you react to that?
It's very true. It's very correct. Everything that you're saying, even from the beginning of time. When I was much younger, I used to get bored easily with, I never considered anybody like a...
Bored easily?
I guess a true, I still haven't found what I'm looking for kind of thing.
Yes.
Which is...
Sure.
Sure. It's all about that. It was really, I used to get bored and I just walked away. So now I'm kind of like ready. It's kind of that timeline that I've always known all my life that I was never going to find romance when I was younger. Be careful what you wish for, because it really happened. So now I'm ready. I'm ready, and it's been missing all my life. I know about that. Yes. So you're so right on. You're very right on about even from the beginning of time.
Well, you've been through a lot. But then again, you've had the energy and the ability to get through a lot, too. You have Pluto rising, so many different, I would almost have to say awful situations have happened to you, but you've always come through okay. Another thing that I'm picking up here is Jupiter, the planet of wealth, money, and prosperity, is in a conjunction with planet Uranus. Now, we haven't spoken about this at all before, but it's in the 11th house. It's in Pisces, but it's in Cancer. But the Jupiter-Uranus thing shows you have a tremendous potential to meet important people who can become your friends. And all of this comes a tremendous possibility of you being successful, of working hard, of going in some...
You're cutting out a little.
Oh, I'm
Ed,
so
you're
sorry.
You're cutting out a little.
Is it better if I speak more slowly?
Yeah.
Let me try to speak more slowly and less like a Gemini. I'll let my Moon in Leo come through. Maybe that'll be better. I think that you have, or had, during your life, the chance of being very prosperous and of working with influential, powerful people, of working in high places of money and power. Can you relate to that?
Yes. Oh, yes. I worked on Wall Street for many, many decades.
For Wall Street. Well, where can you go up higher? Where can you go up higher for wealth than Wall Street? And yet, you live close to home because, you know what? Just the way that you have Moon in your 7th house cusp, you have Venus on your 4th house cusp, which gives tremendous love of the home. It makes it feel like it's a very comfortable place. You know what you need to do is when you get a guy friend. You need to bring him home because that's where you're very successful. But anyway, and that Venus is pretty cool. Now, I also see some family problems with siblings or parents because you have a bunch of things like Neptune, Saturn, Mercury, and Lilith in the third house, which is the house of your relatives. And the Mercury Saturn is particularly bad because what it does is you don't feel that you have good communication with your parents or siblings. There's a kind of like a coldness. No. There's a matter-of-factness. You can get along with them. I don't see fights or anything, but I see that there's been issues having to do with your. Is it more with your mother or father? How can we specify that?
Well, when my parents were alive, it was mostly my mom, but I do believe that she wasn't well, like mentally, maybe, bipolar. Okay. And because at a very young age, I understood that this was not normal, the highs, the lows. And then later on, she was diagnosed, much later on. But my dad was always like my hero, because he was calm, he was gentle, and he was a beautiful person, but he wasn't allowed to be who he was supposed to be as well. So I have compassion for both because they lived, that's why it's so important to come to this life and to live, and be your true self. And just like every single achievement and goal that you have to do everything in your power to achieve that. So you got to live this life that you can't live for other people. You have to live for yourself. So I learned that from my parents. So that's why I never paid attention to micro mini stuff. I always paid attention to the big picture. And I'm always compassionate. But my parents were, it comes from that. And I think it's generational because then my brother and my sister picked up on that as well, that kind of, and they used to separate the children. One is better than the other. And I've
seen parents who do that. Yes, that's a big problem. You fought through that, and you didn't let this. This was a side issue. Your own powers were enough to take you out of that realm and make you able to be successful in life. Jupiter is now just entering your third house, that same house. It's going to go over your Neptune. You're going to be able to kind of synthesize everything with your family. And that's going to be something over the next year. I don't know how it's going to happen. There's going to be more of a coming together and reconciliation if it's needed, if it's necessary. You'll be able to do that. So in your career and in your home, Saturn has been going through your fourth house. There may have been little problems in the place where you are living, but I think with Venus on the cusp, I think you're able to take care of them. But what is it? Did you say clean?
Yeah, I had to cleanse some energy out of the house.
Oh, okay. Some negative energy. That's always a good idea. Let me jump over to your love life. So when you were born, you have the North Node showing many new experiences are necessary for you in this lifetime, having to do with partnerships and with boyfriends, etc. But you have you have Mars there with Chiron. Chiron is the asteroid that has the most to do with healing. So maybe it shows a cleansing and a healing that you do of men in your life. Do you ever feel that you're taking, especially with that moon descendant, with that moon on the seventh house cusp, do you ever feel that you're taking care of men in some very basic way? You were talking about purifying the house. I think you need to purify some men in your life.
Oh, that's what I meant. I didn't say it, but it was. That's what I've been having two different relationships, and it's males, and I really had to stand my ground. It's because people are just taking one takes you for granted, and the other one just wants to walk all over you. So I don't know what's the difference, but not allowed. It's like where they come from. But I just put a stop to it. It's like New Year's Day. It was like New Year's Day at the beginning of the year. I just said no more. It's a new year. New beginnings for me. I don't know about anybody else, but so I let it go. I'm waiting. I'm like allowed to let them go. And whoever wants to be,
and you must.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You must. And Pluto the Sun and Mercury are all in your house of romance and love. And Pluto is quite it's like Ajax. It's quite a cleansing agent. I mean, it causes things to happen in your relationships that sometimes force you to be stubborn and to make big decisions having to do with the guys in your life. So, just fascinating chart. Now, the contrast is so big in your chart between this money-making, influential power politics, almost, I feel like saying for some reason, you know.
Yes. It was. Yes, and it is. It's all about that. But not anymore.
You could be the most nurturing and helpful executive secretary to a big shot, to a real big shot, you know. That's one thing you could do. The caretaking thing is very big, and you could always be a caretaker, but that doesn't give you the power in a way, or the income, you know.
No.
So where are you going with this chart? I want to ask you where you're going with it. How do you feel about it?
I started my own business, you know, because I always wanted to have my own business since I was like maybe 17 or 18. I really never wanted to work for. It was just like it led me, you know, it's like destiny just led me to Wall Street. You know, one day I just got up and I said, I'm going on an interview, you know, and I decided I wanted to be a city girl. So meanwhile, now it's coming, you know, it's just coming to fruition because this was always my goal. I always wanted to have my own business, but I just didn't know how to apply my skills. And it's kind of like, it's kind of a little spiritual. What happened to me was like a midlife crisis maybe. And I just, one day I was just guided to help people. You know, that's one thing I've always done. But now help them in many, you know, reality, you know, what's going on in the world. And I just saw a need that a lot of a group of people, I chose like this group, you know, we call ourselves light work or spiritual people, and I just chose to help in any way I can. So I started out being a literary agent, then I want to do live events, then I also want to do have an online presence, you know, with workshops, and have a public speaking agency, and this is all focusing on this group that's here to make a difference.
Caroline, you think big. You've always thought big. And by thinking big, you've attracted important people into your life with that Jupiter conjunction Uranus. Of course, these people can sometimes turn towards you. Sometimes they can turn away. Jupiter conjunction Uranus means sudden great opportunities come to you, but then it's conditional. It's conditional on other things, on good luck, on timing, on who these people actually are in terms of their personal chart. Someday we'll get into more synastry, which is the art of comparing two charts for compatibility, which is something else, you know, that I do. And I just noticed that your Mars in your fifth house opposes your Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So what this means is there have been times when men in your life, guys that you have dated, have had a bad effect on your career. They've seemed to be friends, but then they sort of turn against you, and they cause enormous frustration. But here's the worst: they also affect your prosperity. You end up spending money on these guys, and they turn out to be bums. Can you relate to that?
Yeah, they have. You know, sometimes when you're certain specific time in our lives, you know, we just don't pay attention to the signs. And that's what I did. I never paid attention to signs. I was just like, I guess I was in love with love. It's the truth. I was in love with love.
It happens.
And then I took a hiatus, you know, for, you know, while I spent, you know, maybe 2 decades, you know, dating and stuff, then the last 20, I've just been, well, not even 20, but close. I just been like, I closed the door. I want to be by myself, and but because I was so hurt, I was very sensitive. I was very hurt. So it's all about
walked away from love because the guys just didn't live up to your expectations.
And
it's terrible. It's a terrible thing.
These were professional people, you know, business people. It means nothing because we're all human, you know, but it's just who we choose, the choices that we make. And as long as we learn from it, then we're not repeating the cycle. And that's what I did. I've always learned. It didn't matter who came. I learned something. I always learned something,
Sure.
you know, something I had to learn for that timeline. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, you're definitely. Well, you have, let me see, it's late Leo rising, but you have Virgo in the first house, and Virgo's all about education. And, you know, it can be book learning, but it can be just experiential also. So, look, I just pulled 3 cards for you because I wanted to move on. And the first one is the Empress. You're in no danger right now. You're sitting on top of the world. I would not be worried about anything because the second card is the Star, and the Star is your inspiration. Your inspiration will continue to help you and to guide you, and you have the right spirit. You know, you just have the right spirit about doing things, and you are knowledgeable about spiritual matters. You know, it's not all down to earth, practical Saturn kind of stuff. There's a lot of spirituality there. So keep looking out. The Two of Wands shows really you were looking for a better opportunity, a big opportunity. It might come from afar. It might come from you know, New York City. And hard to say, but you're still in a quest, and that quest also applies to the love life. You know, the guy is out there. You just have to keep looking, and you will find it. But that's a very nice spread of 3 cards. And
wow,
this has been fabulous getting to talk with you a little bit on the phone. And I just hope that you feel that this is helpful to you. And
oh, my gosh, you've been very helpful. It's kind of an awakening, you know, the depthness that you give, the type of reading that you give has so much depthness, so many layers that sometimes it's subconscious. We're aware of it, but it's very far away. So you bring that up so we can, you know, for self-development, self-esteem purposes, or even to just grow. So I thank you because you're an extraordinary reader. I really admire you because you give like in depth. You know, it's just not like, oh yes, tomorrow you'll find somebody. You know, it's really about like what brought you here and how you're going to, what kind of steps are you going to take, and how it's all in alignment with timing, because that's very important.
Well, you know, it's more nuanced
hope
with the astrology. I mean, I'm going to give a 3-card reading to several of the callers that are waiting online.
Beautiful. Thank you.
While there's still a few minutes left. Oh, my gosh, what is it, 12:22 out here in Vienna. So let me get off the line, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I think we'll have more conversations. Thank you so much, Carolyn.
I will.
Oh, I think I cut her off there at the end. So listen, I'm desperately hoping to get some of the people that have called in. 561 area code. 561 area code. I don't dare pick it up because it might be my nemesis out there, my Nibiru, this crazy guy who keeps calling to disrupt the show. I just can't chance it. So here's what I'm doing. I'm cutting the cards. I'm shuffling the cards 3 times. I'm thinking 561, 561. I didn't get a chance to look up to see where that area code was. I'm going to cut the cards in the middle. Success, you got almost on the air. Hey, I see success around you. The opportunity that you think you have is for real. And hey, the second card is the 6 of Cups. It's a meeting. It's meeting someone from the past, some wonderful person that you're going to be having a relationship with or partnering with. And the third card is the 9 of Pentacles. That's the glamorous woman in a beautiful gown in a setting of a beautiful garden. And you're going to have more control over things. You're going to be happier, and you've already achieved some happiness according to these cards. Look for the bright side. Look for the bright side at all times because it is there. I have to run, so let me get to 917. I also have a call waiting from the 917 area. As I said, I'm so sorry. I'm not able to pick up the phone right now. You can contact me directly at Ed Augusts. That's www.edaugusts, like the month of August with .com. That's my website, and there's several different things we can do there. So I'm cutting the cards near the top, thinking about 917. What's going on there? It seems to be a relationship project going on, a 2 of Cups. Maybe it's a marriage. It's a question about a partnership, a marriage, or a love affair. Oh, man. needing to make friends again, needing to make friends with this person. It has not been easy. The Strength card will give you the strength to turn any problems and dissonance and dangers in this relationship on a positive angle. But then the third card is the Four of Swords, and that shows resting, maybe the whole thing becoming kind of suspended animation, a slowing down. Maybe you're trying too hard. Maybe the relationship is going through something on the wane. And the fourth card is the Page of Cups. My goodness, you have an excellent chance, if you're worried about the relationship you're in, to get something far better, but playful energy. Someone new in your life. Page of Cups. Could be male, could be female, young person. Looks like they want to party. But I know it's a serious question. If it is about business, then it sounds like it's just a matter of taking care of the finer points and the details. Once you take care of the details, you'll be okay. And, well, that's weird because I have two calls from 917. I just did the first one, which is 917, and the first number is 5. Now I'll do 917 with the first number is 3. And we'll see. That seems odd to me that I'm getting two calls from 917. So I'm just shuffling the cards 3 times, taking my second guess from 917. What's going on there? Temperance. Well, if you've been holding back because of not wanting to push and promote yourself too much from the Temperance card, there is money coming. There's a big opportunity coming for you to make some money. The Ace of Pentacles is really golden. It's a golden chance for you to be successful. And you may not have the insight or the clarity today on what you want to do, but that is coming. The Star is coming. The Star is the third card. It's going to inspire you towards doing something fabulous, and that's the fourth card is the Empress. That confirms the fact that this is a good reading for you. Temperance may show that you're very wily and cagey and thoughtful and trying to get all your ducks in a row, but don't worry about it too much. Don't micromanage too much. It will happen for you. You know, you will be successful. Finally, we get to 951. Hello, 951. I'm going to shuffle the cards for you right now. Shuffling 3 times. And I'm just imagining, where would you like me to cut these cards? I'm going to cut them 2/3 of the way down. Strength. The Page of Cups. Well, you know, it's funny because I'm getting similar cups to what I got before, even though I shuffled them. This is, well, the time before last. This is similar to the time before last. Strength. To get a job or to be noticed in your career will be a successful one. You will have a new beginning and have a new friend. The Page of Cups is going to bring you some enormous friendship, some palling around and having a good time. You're going to choose to have fun rather than to be so serious, because the third card shows resting up from it. It's the Four of Swords again. So your strength will be rewarded, and you will be able to have a wonderful time. If this is about a relationship, then look at it more short-term, because I see the Four of Swords showing that this may be limited in the length of the relationship, but you will definitely be able to enjoy yourself once you get to know them a little better, because that might be what the first card is, the Strength card. The Strength card shows you have to cross a barrier in that relationship, and then you'll be okay. Hey, I'm about to go off the air for today. I'm going to have an evening show coming up. I will look on my website. I will tell you more about what night that's going to be. It's going to be the same kind of thing, maybe with more astrology. We'll see. And thank you so much for calling. Remember, look for me at www.edaugusts.com. All righty, we got 10 seconds left. everybody, thank you for calling and waiting. I so much appreciate it. Bye for now.